Welcome back to Concised Microbiology, an exam preparatory video with me, Kavya Tendral. Today, we'll be seeing about the complement system from microbiology. If you have not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe for more interesting videos like this, and as well press the bell icon so that you will receive a daily video notification. We'll be seeing about the complement and its properties, what is called inactivated serum, complement pathways, regulation, the effect or functions of the complement, and as well some microbes evading complement pathway and complement deficiency diseases. First, what is complement? Here, complement are basically protein in nature. Remember it. So they are proteins is present in serum. We know protein will tend to coagulate on heating. So thereby it is a heat labile protein. In normal state, it will be in inactivated form. Now what is going to produce is the liver and this cell. Did you guess this cell? If you guess it is monocyte, you're right. So the blood monocyte and the tissue macrophage are going to produce. If you get a doubt, why does tissue macrophage and blood monocyte has to produce? Remember, complement is a part of the immune response. The first cell to come at the site is the monocyte, and then comes the neutrophil. For the neutrophil to come, this monocyte is going to send a signal, and that is what we see in the cascade. Now, so it is the liver, monocyte, and the blood monocyte, tissue macrophage are the cells going to secrete this complement. Now, if you want to imagine a complement, it is a rough imagination. It would be like this. One has a longer fragment and a shorter fragment which is connected together, and therefore they are connected together. They are inactive in normal state. For it to get active, it has to undergo proteolysis. That is basically an activation of proteolysis is activation of a complement. Next, it is basically a non-specific protein. Another important thing is in times of inflammation and infection, this never increase to be noted, because the acute phase reactant, what we have studied, some of protein in nature, especially I'm speaking about the positive acute phase reactant that increases in inflammation. Whereas here, this complement will not increase in inflammation. Okay, now what does a complement does is, one, whenever there is an inflammation, that is the antigen is present, and to the antigen, the antibody is going to bind the antigen antibody, right? It is being a complex. To that is going to bind the complement. What is that is going to do is going to fix that antibody in that complex. This is a very rough estimation. We'll see what are all the stimulus for different pathways of complement now. Okay, we have seen that if we want to imagine a complement, it would be like a long fragment and a short fragment connected to each other. Long fragment is named as B fragment and small fragment is named as A. To remember, B has a long arm like this and like this. A is ultimately short. So we'll remember like B is longer and A is shorter. But always there is an exception, that is C2. The complement 2, it is exactly opposite. C2 is larger and C2B is smaller, to be noted. Now coming to some theories like that related to that. One is Pfeiffer's phenomenon. Here in Pfeiffer's phenomenon, what they said is in immunized guinea pig, when we inject Vibrio cholera in the peritoneal cavity, there will be in vivo bacteriolysis, and this is what is Pfeiffer's phenomenon. To be noted, there is a bacilli called Pfeiffer's bacillus, that is Haemophilus influenza. There is a syndrome called Pfeiffer's syndrome, that is craniodysosmosis, wherein which the skull bones are fusing very earlier. And the person behind this name Pfeiffer is Richard Pfeiffer, and he is actually a pioneer in typhoid vaccination. All of these are extremely not related. Just the name Pfeiffer's is related, nothing else. And now coming to other name, earlier this complement was called to be Alexin, and by Ehrlich, by his contribution, he renamed this Alexin to a complement. And the previous experiment we have seen Pfeiffer's phenomenon, from that they have arrived to diagnose that there are some immune mechanism and that is causing lysis, probably the complement. Now coming here to complement, they are protein in nature, and these proteins are basically C1 to C9 proteins. C1 to C9 9 types of complement are there, of which C1 has QRX, that is 3 subunits. Like how we remember in ECG there is QRS complex. Likewise here in C1 it is QRNS. Q is an hexamer to be noted. Now complement, whatever the complement has a bar up like this, that has an enzymatic action. Next, complement pathway outline. This is actually more important to remember, or at least to write stories in exam if you don't remember anything in this topic. one, there will be activation of complement pathway, and then there will be C3 convertase. The C3 convertase and C5 convertase has some enzymatic activity. Next is, at last, there will be membrane attack complex MAC formation, and that membrane attack complex will attack the cellular membrane, that is the outer cellular membrane, that causes pore formation and cytolysis. This is the most important, at least to have a rough idea about the complement. What are the pathways? Classical, alternate and lectin pathway. Here, the classical and lectin pathway are somehow similar to the one another. Now, what is called as inactivated serum is the serum where there is no complement activity, that is called inactivated serum. We have seen that in classical pathway, or basically a complement, the antigen to which the antibody is bound, that is antigen antibody complex to which the complement is going to bound, and it fixes the complex. That if that is the situation, IgM will be the potent antibody which is going to it is going to interact with the complement. Why IgM? Because we have studied the cascade of complement starts from C1, and C1 has QRS. The first is the Q, and I have already said C1Q is an hexamer. It has 6 sides. IgM is a pentamer, so the affinity of attachment of this is more than IgG, which is a monomer. This is why IgM is potent to initiate it. And another thing we already discussed, lectin and classical pathways are one similar. Initiation of complement pathway is like same. Whenever there is after initiation, we have A component and B fragments in that complement, of which B is cleaved that by proteolysis, B will continue, and A will take part in chemoattractant, and it induces stimulate other immune responses, which we'll see later. But this also there is an exception, C2, because in C2 A and B fragments are changed, because here C2A is larger, C2B is smaller. Now coming to differences and to easily remember the pathways quickly, what is going to activate classical? Classically it is going to activate it by antigen antibody complex. Antigen is going to come and will be there, and antibody is going to produce for that, and that is fixed with the complement classically. Whereas in alternate pathway it is not the same going there, because here there could be an endotoxin IgA D, cobra venom, or C3 nephritic factor. These are all the things that is going to initiate the alternate pathway. In lectin, very simple, it is the mannose binding protein MBL, or mannose binding lectin. This is present in the bacterial cell wall, and that is going to initiate lectin pathway. Now, as classical pathway is like antigen antibody complement, the first complement is going to initiate. In alternate, it will be C3b. It is always C3b, and in lectin it is C4. Convertase, we have already studied C3 convertase, C5 convertase. Of these two, to arrive C5 convertase, we need to add just 3b to the C3 convertase. And coming to the complement levels in serum, that is all things in all the complement in classical pathway, C1 to C9 will be low. In alternate, C1, C4, C2 will be normal, others will be low. In lectin, C1 is only normal and others are low. Classical pathway of complement is a part of an acquired immunity, whereas alternate and lectin are part of innate immunity. That's it. So classical is acquired immunity. The continuation of the complement system part 2 will be then our next video. Thank you so much for your patient listening.